So this is the week ending. This is Erev Shabbos of the week of September the 12th. This is the day, September 12th, 2025. If you're listening to this, then you know that what happened in this week is that the Israelis attacked in a foreign country, in the country of Doha, Qatar. And we don't know what exactly they accomplished because the Qataris are not really coming forth with too much. And the Israelis aren't on the ground over there. We don't know, but they did some damage. Now the Qataris are saying that there will be no more hostages released. They're saying the worst possible things they can. A big advocate of the Jewish people and the state of Israel was murdered in a gunshot. Boy, the United States is getting so scary for the things that we believe. As that you keep saying that the left in the United States is desperate, but what happens when a cat is cornered? It's a very dangerous animal. And that's what's happening right now, is that the left is really, really riled up. Charlie Kirk, a 31-year-old man who was really making tremendous political inroads, was murdered by a sniper. We still don't know, but there's possibilities that you got another trans sniper here. It's real crazy people. Most people have really don't know about the trans people. They don't really deal with them because I'm in the real estate business, or we manage property. We've had some trans people. Some of them are really sick, especially if they start doing things to their bodies. It really makes tremendous, tremendous anger. And we're going to see this now because for some reason the left in the United States has taken the side of perversion. So all the perverted sexual acts which are become legal now, and it's mainstream, is homosexuality. We have pornography, male and female pornography going everywhere, and people making money off of it. People really getting diverted from home and family, which used to be very important, but now we're living in a world of tremendous fantasy. A world where people think that actually some kind of superhuman world is going to develop as a result of promoting various different kinds of sexual immorality. This is according to our Torah, and it looks dark, there's threatening everywhere. Nonetheless, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, is still alive. Been shot at twice, or at least attempted assassination twice, shot at once. We don't know what's next. It's a very dangerous, dangerous period for the Jewish people. Remember where Eretz Yisrael is located. Eretz Yisrael is located right in the middle of the confluence of 3 different continents. Each continent has its own mentality, its own deep drives. We happen to be pursued by all of those countries, all of those areas, those continents, and we're in the middle of it. We have to rise above. What we have here is we have a king. King? He lived 3,000 years ago. How many generations is that? That's 90 generations, 120 generations. How many people, how many different thousands of lives and millions of lives have gone through the process of being in this world and, leaving this world, coming back, whatever it would be? That these souls have really been pressured tremendously throughout civilization, and we're still here. We have to use as our motto, our king. That's why he's the king of the Jewish people. This is Psalm 63, which, interesting enough, is a Kabbalistic name. It's called Sag. 63 is Sag. So let's read what it says here. David sought refuge from his pursuers, but he came stranded and trapped in the parched wasteland of the Judean desert. If you've ever been in the Judean desert, let's say you go to En-Gedi, it's a very popular tourist place, or the Dead Sea. It's hot. I mean, hot. Outside, Saul and his army surrounded him. From within, David was attacked by a terrible thirst which utterly drained his energy. Oblivious to these dangers, what did David do? David erected a massive fortress of faith, which insulated him from the ravages of his hostile physical environment. His vast intellectual powers. This is a person in straits like, I'm living in a nice place. I live in South Florida. It's really beautiful here. Everything is nice. This is our king. His vast intellectual powers were completely preoccupied with the desire for one thing, to draw even closer to God. And this is what we must do. David's thirst in the wilderness was essentially spiritual. He longed to gaze upon God's splendor, and he yearned to hear the teachings of Torah scholars who reveal the ways of God. Indeed, David's soul was ablaze with love for his Maker. This flaming thirst could be quenched only by one thing, closest to Hashem. And this is what we need to do. This is what we need to do. We need to be dovek to Hashem. We need to yearn for Him. We need to ask Him and plead with Him and beg Him for our salvation. You look at the situation, I've said this before in other shiurim, St. Louis, where I come from, the reform was always very powerful in St. Louis. The Germans came first. They brought reform with them. And all the other Eastern Europeans who came after that, let's say they're going back in St. Louis to the 1840s, 1860s, you had tremendous migration of Germans. And those people who came afterwards came from further east, from Russia and Lithuania, places like that, Poland. They were much different kinds of Jews, but they fell into the arms of the Germans who had been there previously and into reform. Today, reform feels that is really making progress, as they've taken the side of the perverts. I mind saying that. And today, the president of the Federation appears in a photo with his husband in the Jewish Light, the St. Louis Jewish Light, the local paper. And you read about all the intermarriage that's going on there. This is a terrible, terrible thing. How in the world could we right this ship, the Jewish ship? We've been cast into a situation, and understand who is the director and the producer of this production? None other than the Almighty Himself. It's impossible to understand what the Jewish people are going through. So now the United States has gotten into a big round of perversion, and it's popping up, and it spills over, and it is coming to tremendous violence. You could see the sickness in the country, in the culture. This flaming thirst could be quenched only by closeness to Hashem. As David states, "In the shadow of your wings I shall joyously sing." What a brave king we have. Midrash Shocher Tov observes that this psalm foretells that the exiled children of Israel will cry out. They're coming. It's coming. We haven't found our center yet, but the push, the pressure is continuing. Our souls are weary and parched. We yearn for the refreshing words of Torah, but the Gentiles will now allow us this. Thus will the words of the prophet in Amos, number 8:11, be fulfilled. Behold, the days are coming, says my Lord Hashem, Elokim. Now these words, Lord Hashem, refers to, in Kabbalah, the concept of the middle line. This is the concept of Zeranpin, it's called that. And Elokim is a Lashon Din, it's a lang of punishment. So this is the God who does both. He's a balance scale. When we're good, we get blessings, if we can recognize them. When we're not, we get punished. It's very possible to mistake the blessing for a punishment or the punishment for a blessing. It couldn't be possible. The world is that mixed up. When I shall send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but thirst for hearing the words of Hashem. That's a famous song made by Shlomo Carlebach. And we'll see how the words go. Now, remember that we're looking at a translation by this man, Avraham Chaim. He's a rabbi, a tremendous scholar, Avraham Chaim Foyer. And so we're dealing with a second-hand translation. I think he's done a good job, but we do the best we can. A song of David. When he was in the wilderness of Judah, O God, you are my God, I seek you. My soul thirsts for you, my flesh longs for you in a land barren and weary with no water. What kind of water do they have now at the St. Louis Jewish Light? Thus have I beheld you in the sanctuary to see your might and your glory, for better is your kindness than life. My lips shall praise you. Then I shall bless you for all my life. In your name I shall lift my hands, as with fat and abundance, with my soul be sated. With joyous language will my mouth give praise. When I remember you upon my couch in night watches meditating upon you, for you were a help for me. In the shadow of your wings I shall joyously sing. My soul clings after you. To me, your right arm lent support. But as for them, they seek desolation for my soul. They shall enter the lower depths of the earth. He shall drag him by the sword. A portion of foxes shall they be, but the king shall be glad with God. Glorified will be everyone who swears by him, for the mouth of falsifiers will be stopped. We are in the midst of a tremendous corruption in the world. The power of two forces, the force of radical Islam and the force of the far left, the climatologists, all the rest. This is tearing the country and the world apart, and we live in that time. This is Baruch Fleischman. We seek solace from the faith of our King, the Holy David HaMelech, our King, whose bravery, is that the right word? Whose bravery, his desire for one thing and one thing only is intimacy with the Holy One, blessed be He. This is Baruch Fleischman.